and how do we understand it? From the energy terms. So anyways, to begin with, I've already talked about in almost every one of my webinars that there is nothing but actors all around us. Mirrors, mirrors, actors, actors, and that's all every relationship is about. So whatever energy field you carry, that's the energy field that is going to be reflected by the actor. So since it's been talked about every time, what is it that we add to it today with this topic of discussion on family itself? Well, how things can get so strange, when we look at energy terms, and how things can look so different when we look at the physical term. So we look into a few examples of what we think as family, and in energy terms, what a family really means and how that family gets created. So yeah, so to start with, when we are born itself, we are born into a family. You might think that it just happened by coincidence, but nothing is a coincidence. What parent you are going to choose, what sex you are going to choose, what kind of a life you are going to choose, everything is all being decided by the energy that you carry. All the vibrations that you hold, as those vibrations come together, they are a match. To begin with, they are a match with the mother itself. Because as soon as you take place in the womb, as soon as you place yourself in the womb of the mother, you are starting to take from her, from the womb through the umbilical cord. You are already taking not just nutrition, but everything that that mother has to offer to you. Looking at it in energy terms, what all do you offer to your children? If you are scared about what sex they are going to be, if you are worried about whether they will be healthy or not, if you're anxious because it's your first child, or maybe you're not anxious, or you're anxious because you've lost a couple of children before this, whatever the case be, everything of your energy is going to the child as well. And why is it going to the child as well? Is there somebody, who didn't want all of this and is receiving it? So many times we put ourselves into this guilt that, I've carried all of this fear, I've carried all of this worry, and I've handed it over to my children. Yes, you did carry your worry and fear, but why did that child come through you at all? Why did that being that already holds so much intelligence, why did it choose to come through you? Because it was a perfect match. They were wanting some experiences to grow their energies of worry and fear, and you were going to be able to provide them, because you, through your journey, were going to carry some of those as well. And together in the energies, there is perfect resonance, perfection in every resonance, in every frequency of the energies. So perfection exists even in sadness, as perfection exists in joy, in ananda. So for this, so as soon as you decided that you were going to take shape and come through a family, now you spend your time in the womb, and now you are ready to be out and experience everything that you came for. And as you come out, you are still very much connected to yourself. The earlier initial years of ourselves, we are still connected to our own energy. And that's why I say, we talk about unconditional love, and I say the only unconditional love that we've actually experienced is as a child, when we don't really bother about what somebody else is going to think. If I'm angry about something, lunch has not been served to me, I'm going to cry. It doesn't matter if everybody else is busy, there is so much happening, my mother is upset, or she's sleeping, she's so tired. No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm at this height of self-love. And in that self-love, I'm able to connect to myself, and I'm the only person around. Everything else is simply a mirror. In that space, when I give myself unconditional love, because I'm so still in the self-love mode, when I give love to myself, the rest of the universe obviously lines up to give love to me. So I give love to myself, the rest of the universe also gives loves to me and shows love to me as much as unconditional as they can get. But here it is, as I move forward, it could be that I'm the only child right now, or it could be that I'm the second child. Either ways, if there decides to be another entity that comes through and becomes the part of the same family, which would be a sibling. If another sibling comes through, I am suddenly told that I am meant to love this person. All of this while, I have been receiving love from a mother, from a father, from other people around. As my conditioning deepens, in a few years, I am able to see that I'm supposed to give love to them as they give love to me. At this point in time, the connect with the self starts to be lost. Remember, you came for this experience, and that's why it's happening to you. It's not happening, oh, I had such a great connect with myself. Why did I have to lose it? Why did you have to lose it? Because through all of these experiences itself, you have come to experience the highest form of self love for you. But the highest form of self love, knowing everything about love, also involves knowing what love is not. So, for that reason, what is love? When is love? How is love? How does love take place? Who are we supposed to give it to? When are we supposed to give? What kind of love we are supposed to give? What if we don't have any kind of love? What if we have love and it is taken away from us? What if we don't have love and then suddenly we receive it? All of these, every experience gives us a little more knowing about love itself. Love on the outside, love on the inside. Love on the outside, love on the inside. That's how the game goes on earth in duality. And then we understand a little bit more about what it is to receive, to not receive, to give, to not give, to give and to be rejected, to give and to not be rejected. All of these increase our knowing of love. The final answer, the final answer. The final answer is when all the fingers are here. Love to whom? Love only to the self. And what happens when you give love only to the self? Are you being so selfish that you're not able to give love to anybody outside? No, this knowing to the self that the final answer is self love, this knowing comes with also this other knowing that outside there is nothing. There is nothing outside of you. Everything is an illusion. Everything that you consider your child, your family, your role, everything is simply a role, and everyone an actor that is playing out those roles for you. The roles will change as your energy changes, but you only come into this knowing after all your other experiences are about to finish. You get to know about self love only after you've experienced duality through so many different forms. You've experienced separation, and now it's time to come back to your source again. You are the source of what? You are the source of love. But you meaning what? You and everyone else. So, everyone being a source of love, what is the journey? Everyone's journey is to come to this final knowing that there exists nothing. I am the source. I am Shiva. I am that. To come to this place, we have to go through all the loops, through so many stages, through so many illusions we have to go through. And family, we were talking about the family and the journey. So, family, how does it create illusions for you? That's the point of discussion today. You move forward, and now you've been receiving all of this love from your parents or somebody else. There are 4 or 5 actors around. Everybody gives you experiences. You don't have to be necessarily receiving love at all. There could be somebody who, even within this, they are giving you something that is not totally love, and your energy can sense it, and you are already receiving everything that you have asked for. If it is rejection, You're already receiving rejection in the energies. You might be a 6-month-old child, but you are not really a 6-month-old child. You are the energy. You are the eternal that has come to experience rejection at this age of 6 months old. Through all of this play, as you now get introduced to another family member, by this time, already the connect to the self is lost, and now you're looking outside for love. You're looking at your mother, at your father. Now you're looking outside to receive love from them. And suddenly pops up this another being that you think your love is going to be shared with them. The love is going to become less for you. And that's why we have this term called sibling rivalry. Sibling rivalry. It's meant to be that way because you've chosen that actor not to give love, but to actually experience rejection and resentment. Why is it called sibling rivalry and not sibling divinity? Because it doesn't look like that. It's not meant to be that. It's meant to be for your experience of everything that tells you that your love is now going to be reduced. You are going to receive lesser of this thing that your parents have given to you. How much ever the parents give you more love, if your experience is of choosing resentment, experiencing of resentment, then it doesn't matter. The actor that has come now, the actor that has arrived now, is going to be able to show you and to be able to grow your energies of resentment. And what's happening in the meanwhile? Your parents put you together and say, you're meant to love this person because this person is your brother, sister, whatever it is. You are meant to love them. You should be loving them. You have to love them. Why? Because they're part of the family. How amazing is that? That we are thrust to love somebody. You have to, you should be, you must. Does love happen like that? Apparently not. It doesn't happen with so much of push and pull. Whatever can you create more? You can only create more resentment. That seems to be the chosen experience between these two parties. But no, we think of it, we qualify of it as this needs to be love. Why does this need to be love? Because we four are one family. We six are one family, and that is what we are meant to do. We are meant to love each other. We are meant to stand by each other. That's in the physicality and that's your understanding. But the minute you look at the emotions that these other people are creating, it's far from love. And you know what? You can stand by any rules, but those rules don't hold in your energies. You're experiencing, you will receive whatever you have chosen to receive. Even through these relationships, through these names, this is my brother, this is my sister. It doesn't mean anything because it doesn't mean that it has to be a love-filled relationship. It cannot be. Love cannot be forced. And so, being in a family, you have to live with this forceful love. What happens? Well, the resentment stays. The only thing that happens is you learn to cover your resentment a little bit more. Because what you have by now done already is moved so far away from yourself that you totally cannot feel the love for yourself. And now you're constantly looking outside, rejecting, resenting, being angry because you think that that love that you felt belonged from the outside was given to you and now it has been taken away. And therein starts your journey on earth in true earnest. In true earnest. Why? Because from this point onwards, no matter what you do, when you go to school, you will be thrown in with a bunch of kids, 40 of you, 30 of you, whatever the ratios look like today, but all of you looking for love from that one person who's your teacher. And for that, so much condition. I have to do this to be loved by my teacher. This person needs to love me, and so I need to do this or that, make them happy in this way or that way. I have to make my parents happy, and only then will they give love to me. Why? Because now love has become that transaction. It's no longer unconditional, because you in this journey at this point have forgotten to give love to yourself. And the whole journey is that only. So, in this point, you've set up the stage so that you've moved farthest away from this point of giving love to yourself and only expecting it from outside. The link from expectations is so beautiful. It's the link of expectations, attachments leading to hurt. Anytime that your attachments are going to not fulfill your expectations, what is your feeling going to be? Oh, definitely disappointment and hurt. Disappointment and hurt. And where is that disappointment and hurt sitting? Who wants to experience? Who is the one that wants to experience all of this? It's you. And that's why you created these actors. And so moving forward, now we have so much of sibling rivalry, because here is one person we need to get love from, and then so many conditions have to be met before we can before we can receive love from the outside. We move forward with this journey, and by now we find that for ourselves, the love that we need to give to somebody has to first be qualified as mine. My brother, so I can give love to him. My mother, so I give love to the mother. My father, okay, I'll give love to him. Somebody from the outside, no, you are even taught that if somebody outside is giving love, there is always an ulterior motive. This is not a good thing. You have to look at the other person with a lot of suspicion and mistrust. So what is it that you are choosing to experience now? Your energy of suspicion and mistrust when you are thrown in this scenario that somebody outsider will come and say, I love you, and you will not be able to deal with it. Why not? Because that's the chosen experience. Again and again, I point towards chosen experience so that if any of you are going through this, whether it's a sibling rivalry or you have children who are going through sibling rivalry, you understand that the guilt that you might sometimes feel, am I responsible? That guilt has to be released right away. It's a chosen journey. Who has chosen it? Every energy field that has come to experience. If they have chosen not to be in this me and mine, then there will be less of that sibling rivalry, because then they don't feel the need for receiving love from the outside, or even this thought that the love is going to go less. Just because somebody else is receiving it, there will be lesser left for me. That transaction doesn't happen, but that's simply a matter of each energy and energy. There are no rules in the energy. Each one of us is simply a collective of how many experiences that we have received over the dozen thousand forms that we exist in. So many different realms that we exist in, so many different places our energy plays. And so what is our experience through all of that? Why have we come to Earth to experience only the bipolar, not the bipolarity, only the polarity. Okay, so now moving forward, as we move more and more me and mine, this belongs to me, I can give love to it. And I was laughing in the morning session. I said, do you love the neighbor's son as much as you love your own? No, the neighbor's son belongs to the neighbor. The words I was going to use was, well, do you love the neighbor's husband or the wife as much as you love your own? But then I said that might be a problem for some. So I will just keep it simple, keep it to the kids. So do you love the neighbor's kids as much as you love yours? No, you don't. Why? Me and mine. This attachment that you form, limiting yourself only to 4 or 5 mirrors. That's the limit that you place on yourself. That's the limit that you place on receiving and giving love. It's a limit that you are placing. I don't want more love. This is all that I will take. My vessel, only this small. My vessel will only hold this much love. I can give it, I can receive it, and this is all that I will play with. This being our most limited self. Because who are we? As we said right in the beginning, we are unconditional love. We are the source of love. We are love itself. And so we are love itself. And in all of that, we put this little vessel right there saying, okay, I'm only this much love. And that becomes your reality. You are only this much love. Time moves on, and then what? And you come to a place where now somebody else outside, is wanting to give love to you, and you're able to open up. You're able to open up just a little bit to let them in. Over here, what do you think? Oh, I'm loving somebody outside, but here it is. What is happening in the energy terms? A person is appearing to give you more experiences of whatever you are choosing. That person too simply an energy match, and you call it a marriage, and now you begin your own family. Now what happens over here? Exactly the same thing as the sibling rivalry, because if there's anybody else who appears in this picture, anybody else who becomes the taker of love, that you think it only belongs to you, it has to be restricted to you. And what will happen? Oh, the same kind of rivalry that you experienced earlier, the same kind of resentment, the anger that you experienced earlier. And where is all of this going? This is all going to just simply tell you the definition of family. The definition of family, these 5 family members, what are they actually giving to you at a physical level? They're giving you a news. They're giving you a news to say, you have to love this, you can't love that. You only have to love these 5 people. These are your 10 people. That's it, your 10 people. And that's where you stop. Okay, sometimes you might even go a little bit more further. And let's say you do some work for NGOs or something like. You expand just a little bit. Even over there, transaction. It's a transaction. You haven't totally opened your heart out, but you feel good about doing something good to the others. There are others and you feel good about it. Should you do it? Of course you should do it. Life is all about feeling good. But then again, over there, if you have expectations coming in, that, okay, this is my NGO. This needs to become this way. This needs to move in this way. Again, the me and mine and the world is again shrunk. The world has shrunk back to your me and mine. What happens then? Someday, when all your circle of experiencing all of these limited love transactions, then you come into some place of knowing, which will tell you that firstly, you have to give love to yourself, only to yourself. There is no one else. You have to only give love to yourself. Outside is only mirrors. When you start to hear this, and initially, it doesn't even resonate. It doesn't resonate. How can I give love to myself? Don't I have to do things for others? Isn't that the better thing? Isn't charity the better thing? Isn't doing for others the higher thing? And then you walked so far away. Why is it that you don't resonate? Because you've walked so far away from yourself, from your self-love, that even giving love to yourself feels selfish. It feels like the wrong thing to do. And yet you begin to understand how many judgments you are sitting in, how many places you've created so many limits for yourself. As you judge yourself and as you judge the other, how much restriction you have put on this word called love. With the word family, I just laugh because in the word family, probably love is the last thing that you learn. You learn everything else. You learn attachments. Wherever there is attachment, there can be no love. So you learn attachments, you learn resentment, you learn how to be limited. You learn how to fear that this will go away or not be mine. You learn how to cling. And all of these are the last names of love. This is as much unlove as can be in the family with all the lessons that you learned together from the family. And then one day, as I said, we were going with that story, that one day you come to a place and you recognize that, oh, the only thing that I have to do in all of this to receive love, the only thing that I have to do is to love myself, is to release my own judgments. And then you begin to do that little by little. What happens is you release the judgments. Story is so simple because you release judgments for yourself. The outside world starts to show you lesser and lesser of judgments. The outside world starts to give you more love as you give more love to yourself. And here is the final answer to everything. You don't have to do anything for anyone. If you do it for yourself, that love that you carry is already going to be received by everything and everyone around you. Why? There is nobody around you. It's you and your reflections. So when somebody is not giving you love and you're still pointing the finger at them, they need to give me love because they are part of my family. Now understand, they need to give you exactly what you are receiving. What you think you need to receive and what your energy has asked for are two different things. If you keep looking from the human perspective, from the body perspective, from the limited perspective, the only thing that you are going to receive, the only thing you are meant to receive is more of the hurt experience. So to be able to receive the love experience, you have to think of the energy. Think of what is it that family is making you feel. Is it attachment? Is it unconditional love? In unconditional love, there is a very simple understanding. You accept everyone as they are. That's it. That's unconditional love. As they are. Your life is like this. I accept it. I allow it. As a parent, you will want to change 5 different lives. This one needs to be this way. This one needs to be that way. But what will happen? Is their energy moving as per your direction? Or has their energy come to experience whatever it is that they wish to experience? Part B is the right answer. Well, then do I not have a responsibility as a parent? If you do want responsibility, let me give you just one. It is your responsibility to keep yourself happy. Because when you are happy, you are the transmitter of that happiness. When you are sad, you at all times are the transmitter of that sadness. So your responsibility is to keep yourself happy. If I keep myself happy, how will I help my children? How can I be happy when my children are so miserable? Oh, well, your children are the tools for creating this sadness in you. That's what family does. Creates all these other kinds of emotions, and you call it love. And so today, as you understand that if you really want to give love to somebody, the only thing you got to do is to give love to the self, to your own self. That, okay, I'm judging that person's journey. I don't like that person's journey. Then why is it that I don't like their journey? Because I'm fearful that they will make the same mistakes that I made, or I'm fearful that something will happen to them and I won't be able to take it. I am fearful. What is the job you have? Right now, you are transmitting fear energies. The job that you have is to bring yourself to love yourself and therefore then to be in happy energies. That's your only responsibility. And how will that help others? When I'm transmitting happiness everywhere, anybody who comes to me tunes into what? Tunes into my joy. They can be with me and they feel joyful. When they go away, it's their choice whether they want to keep that joy within or if they want to now go back to their own frequency. But in the middle of all of this, whether they stay in my frequency or they don't stay in my frequency, what do? I stay centered in joy. I stay centered in self-love because the only job that I can do is to be love. To be love, not to give love. You can't. Give love is like the noose on your head saying, you have to give love to this person. This person is family. You have to love this one. Love doesn't happen that way. Love just happens when you are that. When you are in peace, when you are completely at ease with everything that's happening around you. In that moment, you are unconditional love. That frequency of unconditional love. Who do you think that frequency belongs to? We give it the name of God. What is God? Frequency of unconditional love. The minute you touch that frequency where you can be at peace, no matter what's happening outside. Take a look. Isn't that what God does? All the temples, everywhere. God is doing everything. And yet, God is at peace. How can God create so much negative stuff on this planet? Because God is the conditional, God is the energy of unconditional love. And so, through whatever your energy wants to experience, that unconditional love in the universe is always there for you. When you tap into that same frequency of unconditional love, you are that. You are Shiva. What is everybody receiving from you? That same unconditional love. The more unconditional love you sit in, who is that love towards? You know the answer. It's towards yourself. But the more unconditional love you sit in, the more you transmit that. What is everybody around you going to receive? Well, all of you who come over here on every Saturday, you would have noticed that over the last 1 year that you've been coming here, you love yourself a little bit more. And as you love yourself a little bit more, you might have noticed that around you, things shift. If things are shifting, it's because you are the one who has shifted. If things are not shifting, then again, it's you that needs to shift a little bit more. Family, that noose around your head, that family will stop being the noose and is going to expand. Why? Because the minute you are unconditional love, there is no me and mine. Who in the universe doesn't belong to me when I am everything and I am nothing? That is the frequency of unconditional love. And so when everything belongs to me, you will find so much of an expansion of the love that you will receive. Forget what you will give to somebody or to somebody outside. You don't need to do that. You give love to yourself and you will be amazed at the amount of love that you are going to be able to receive from the outside. This, the true definition of family. You were meant to love people, the four people that got thrown together, saying this is family. But the family doesn't get forced on you just because you're all, well, somehow you met the other person, you had a paper that says marriage, and now you are meant to love that person. It doesn't happen that way. Love will happen only when there are no conditions attached, when you're fully in acceptance of the other person. The more you are in acceptance of yourself, you will find that the family of yours that you have is going to grow. So many of you come to MPFY and feel so connected with this whole family. We have so much masti, and yet we have no expectations from each other. Whatever somebody says their journey has been, we take it with a piece of non-judgment. Okay, that's been their journey, no matter where their journey has taken them to. We are in acceptance and allowance of their journey. In one way, you might say, you haven't added, this is mine. This person, this journey, this family is mine and mine alone. I can only restrict myself to loving these 5 people. Or these are the 5 guides that I had. So now I have to love only these 5. Well, you know now in this path that the journey is only to love yourself. And so the more you do that, the more people who are vibrating at that vibration, those who are resonating and vibrating at that vibration of self-love will keep adding on to your family. And this, your true family, will keep expanding. This, your true family, without any resentment. This, your true family, without any conditions, without any expectations. And in this family too, if you do develop attachments, and then hurt and resentments are not far away. So always be watching yourself. The minute we start to term anything as me and mine, my family, this is the limited piece of it, then you are making yourself limited. There's nobody else. And our job is to go, really, to go into the limitlessness of ourselves, the limitlessness of the love that we are. So now, understanding this, the family that's been put together, what do you do? What do you do with this family that's been put together? Well, learn to be unconditional so that the family that you want to grow can start from those five pieces, the five different people living in that, under that roof. There are expectations over there. Then learn now to release those expectations. Let the family become your true family, not just in the name, not just because you live in the same household, not because you popped out from the same tummy. It doesn't matter, right? I mean, you could have gone and adopted a few people. And now again, same story. I adopted this one. Now you've got to love this one. Noose around the neck never makes anybody love anybody else. Noose around the neck always creates rules. And rules, as as we said in another of the webinars, the minute the rules are created, they will be broken. Someday or another, they will be broken. So breaking all the rules of the family today itself, understanding that the family's job, in the unawares, the family's job is really not to give you love. It's to give you a mix of all the emotions, anger, resentment, sadness, attachment, everything. And also, of course, joy, love, peace, all the mix, the entire mix is what you're supposed to receive in unawareness. But then from the aware family, as you love yourself more and more, you begin to connect to an aware family. And over there, love flows. Love just flows because love is within. And so love is outside as well. Okay, people, I put a pause over there. Does anybody have any questions? I see the chat completely empty. Either everybody fell off to sleep, it was so boring, or otherwise everybody's so engrossed in what I have to say that you forgot to write any questions on the chat. So anybody wants to talk to me, anybody has questions, comments, this is the time you can do so. Anybody wants to have a discussion, anybody has a question in mind about, you just trashed the entire family concept. How can you even do that? Well, I can only because I only talk energy terms. I talk energy terms, and in the energies, there is a much wider family waiting to happen. But for that, you need to get yourself to unconditional love. Well, in Sanskrit, there's the saying Vasudev Kutumbakam. Vasudev Kutumbakam. So the whole universe is my family. But in what state? If you're only going to say these four people are my family, then how can you expand to the full world being your family? So for the full world being your family, the state has to be unconditional. So somebody asks, if I tell myself I have to be happy, will I be happy? No, absolutely not. If you tell yourself you have to be happy, it's you trying to again force happiness on yourself. So I teach some very easy processes to look at happiness as a frequency. It's a frequency that you can tune into. It's all based on the fact that we are energy. We don't work on words. We work on vibrations. If you're telling yourself constantly, oh, I need to be happy, I need to be happy, I am happy, I should be happy, I can't be unhappy, these are just simply words. But where are they coming from? They're probably coming from some sadness that you're not happy. So therefore, you have to be happy, have to be happy. But the sadness vibration that you are carrying, that is the vibration that we need to release. So for the release, I have a couple of very easy processes. I call this the positivity process, but it's all about being able to look at that segment of the energy that you've tuned into. And then from there, simply to be able to move to another channel. Think of yourself not as this body, but as a much wider, larger expanse of energy. When you think of yourself as energy, everything is energy. So you're not lying. You are actually energy, but you get caught up in this small little frame that this must be the whole of me. No, this is not the whole of you. This plus every thought that passes through you, that plus every emotion that passes through you, that plus so much more that's constantly being created from your energies, that is the whole of you. That is the Shiva, the creator of your universe. When you start to understand energy, and you can change the channel as per your liking, but firstly, at least see what you're holding in your energy field. And once you're able to, again, the whole point is to be able to observe, where am I operating from? If you're operating from sadness, and from there, I want to be happy, I should be happy, I need to be happy, it's not going to work. All that you have to do is to observe, oh, I'm operating from unhappiness. Okay, I can change the channel. I can change the channel to happiness. To also change the channel, I give a second step as well. My energy works in abundance. My energy works in anand, in bliss. And so there is so much of abundance of joy in my energy that I tell everybody, you can easily tune into my energy. So first step, simply thinking of it as if you have a pot, and that's your pot, and your pot is filled with so much of sadness. And so in that pot, all of that sadness, where will this joy go? There's no place. You're already, all your mind space is occupied by these frequencies. So a little bit of sadness you release, create some space. And in that, what do you fill? You fill in the frequency of masti and abundance. And for that, there's a very tiny little meditation. You'll find it on the YouTube channel. Somebody can help you with that. But as you find it over there, you just simply do the meditation. You do the release, you do the meditation. This is a daily process. Why would this be a daily process? Because it's like having a bath. You have a bath and then you get dirty. You have the habit of sitting in unhappiness. It's going to happen like that. You do it right now, 20 minutes later, again, the needle would have shifted to unhappiness. So you simply go, what do? If you've just had a bath, you step out on the road and there's cow dung on the road, and now you're dirty again. What would you do? Yes, you can complain, but complaining doesn't make you clean. What you need to do is to take a bath. And so similarly, every time you get into the doo-doo of unhappiness, what do you need to do? You just need to go back to the happy energies again. The same process, but you need to keep doing it again and again, because it's all this. We can tune into as many channels as we feel like it. And most of the times we don't even realize that we've shifted our channel. We were happily sitting in happy energies. Somebody came and told us a horror story, something bad happened to somebody, and we've shifted our energy. When you're aware, you can actually see, okay, I think I'm sitting in sadness now. And as soon as you observe, now you can begin the work to move to another frequency. And that frequency could be joy, could be abundance. Does ignoring someone help? When you ignore somebody, have you processed your own emotion and then you're ignoring? Or have you not processed your own emotion and then you're just simply trying to ignore? So you know the difference between the two. If you haven't processed your emotion, why am I wanting to ignore? There is fear of something. What is your fear? Why is it that you don't want to be in front of that person? If you haven't processed that emotion of fear, then ignoring doesn't help. If you've processed your fear and now you wish to ignore, that's okay, because you've already brought yourself to equanimity about your fears. If this happens, so what? If that happens, so what? Once you've brought yourself to equanimity, the action of ignoring doesn't even matter. I can relate to what you said, as I always used to feel that I am born in the wrong family, because, I can't read, I forgot my glasses today. because I never felt the love I expected. How beautiful. I love your sentences. I'm going to like, take them apart one by one. Okay. As I as I started, oh bloody hell, I need
I
glasses.
can read for you, me.
Yes, please, would you?
Yes,
Would
yes.
you?
As I started loving myself, I could appreciate the family more. Also, more people kept getting added to life with whom I could feel like family. You give me all my answers. Thank you so much.
So cute, so beautiful. So now that now that we read it, and now we start from the beginning and say, I always felt I was in the wrong family, but it was the absolute right family for you. Why? Because that's the experience that you were looking for, and because I never felt the love I expected. Now that's your expectation, but your energy didn't give them that role. It was not meant to be that way. You were meant to receive so many other experiences and unconditional love because you didn't feel it for yourself. It wasn't something that a role that you gave to anybody else as well. And so, for that matter, that didn't feel like your family. And then now, as you understand energies, how beautiful is it? Because as you change your energy, as you love yourself more, and you're saying, wow, I can already behave or get better at my appreciation with my family. And not just that, more people, the expansion of that unconditional love that I'm growing within, that's already happening. And more people are getting added to my family. So cute, because so many people come to me and say, oh, who all are in your family? And I say, me and my husband. And they say, oh, you didn't have kids? So sad. You didn't have that experience of having kids. And so sad. And I said, well, I have like 1,000 kids. It's like, yeah, but they're not your own. And I said, yeah, your kids, when they have problems, they come running to me and they want the answers from me and not from you. Are they your kids or are they mine? I don't know. You tell me. So this me and mine, such a fun concept. Now do I stop myself from being responsible for my family's bad behavior sometimes? What does your family's bad behavior do to you? It's through this person has a bad behavior and this person has a bad behavior in your family, and they're all going ahead with all that bad behavior and coming forward, and outside this drama is taking place. And the only question that I ask you to ask yourself at all times, as all of this is happening, what am I feeling? That's the only important question, because whatever you're feeling, as you feel, all of these people are creating so much tantrum, so much drama, and all of that. And through all of it, you're feeling really sad. Then for you, the experiences of sadness. If you are feeling responsible, oh, I brought them up in a wrong way. Why do they keep doing these things? You didn't bring them up in the wrong way. They took birth in your family. They exactly wanted to become what they have become. They took, they didn't come over there by chance. They chose every step. Their energy has chosen every step, every experience. So if you are feeling guilty, if you are feeling responsible, then that's your judgment. And yes, what will you do now? Absolutely release the guilt. Everybody is receiving their experiences. You are receiving your own. You are creating your own. So now that you understand this, holding guilt will only create more guilt experiences from the outside. Somebody or the other will keep coming to you and keep making you feel guilty. It's all because of you. You should be responsible. You haven't done this. You didn't do that. Now, why are more people coming to you? In unawareness, we sit in more judgment of the self. When people come to me and say, oh, you're like the worst mother ever. Okay, I'm not a mother, but you're the worst wife ever. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Actually, I'm going to take that call. So everybody, please give me a Okay, everybody, back over here again. What were we talking about? Yes, we were talking about responsibilities and for your family. And so, if somebody comes and tells me what a bad wife I've been, and so I'll take all the responsibility and try to do outside. I'll try to do things outside to make stuff better, to be a better wife. I will do more actions. But what am I doing it from? I'm doing it because I've already judged myself to be a bad wife. And so the more I do actions from this place, more and more judgments of me and now being a bad daughter, a bad something else will keep coming forward. Why? Because these judgments belong to me. It's an easy way out. Before I do anything outside, the only thing that I have to do is actually to release my judgment into the candle. No, I am awesome. I am awesome, and everything is as it needs to be. So, yes, absolutely, you can let go of the other people's behavior, but yours you will still take into consideration because this is all about you. Outside, there is nothing. Everybody is your mirror. If they are triggering you, if they are creating emotions in you, then the work has come on you. There is nothing outside. Okay. So okay. And then somebody says, do I have to stop expecting? You can continue to expect. I'm just only telling you what expectations will bring to you. Expectations have a very beautiful link. Expectations only come at a place where we have attachments. Attachments are me and mine. This is mine. I've done this for them. Now they need to do this for me. That's how expectations are built. This is mine. This needs to behave in a certain way. That's why we set up rules and regulations for our family members. And we expect them to not break those rules, but to follow those rules. What will happen? We have this expectation and the rule breaks. Somebody does something behind your back. What will you feel? You'll feel hurt. When you expect something from the outside, okay, this is my son. I did so much for my son. Now they need to do this for me. And they don't do. What will you feel? You will feel hurt. When they do, it's okay. You will feel joy. But joy also, when placed on something outside, when placed on something outside of you, that person has become a tool for your joy. Anything happens to that person, your joy is going to get badly shaken. So the joy has to be within. And all of these expectations that you have that are constantly creating hurt for you, now take a look. Do you have to release expectations? No, it's not who am I to tell you what you have to do? I don't create rules. I simply tell you if you keep your expectations, expect hurt. Expect hurt, expect resentment, expect anger, because you are keeping your expectations, and that is the link between hurt expectations and resentment attachments. This is the link. So if you wish to release your expectations, but you are fearful, no, if I release my expectations, nobody will look after me. I expect them to look after me, but if I tell them, no, you don't need to look after me, I've released my expectations, then I will be lonely. Now, over here, you have fear. You have fear that if you don't carry your expectations, if you don't have attachments, then people will actually not love you. This is your fear of not being loved, and you have to release this fear as well. So there are so many layers of emotions at play, and we begin to look at each of them. Most of the times you will find under everything at least a dozen layers of fears. So I say, begin to release your fears, become a little bit more fearless, and you will find your limits just expanding. We are here to explore our limitlessness. So let's begin the journey of limitlessness. Okay, everybody. Any more questions? Any more comments? No. Okay. All right, people. So now just a deep breath in and a short little meditation. Oh, money. Okay, so just simply taking a deep breath in and exhale. And as you take the next breath in, this one intent, I take energy from Meenal, this beautiful, unconditional energy of love. I take. I'm ready to receive. I open my heart and I'm ready to receive this energy of abundance, this energy of unconditional love towards myself. I love myself completely, totally, beautifully, without judgment. Let this statement, let this sentence sit with you. I love myself beautifully, completely, unconditionally. I'm able to experience my limitlessness in the now. And as you bring these thoughts to your mind, now putting your attention to some beautiful place, anything that comes to mind, anything of beauty, any place of beauty, the beautiful nature around you. Maybe you like the hills, maybe you like the ocean. Whatever that beautiful place is, it comes to your memory. And now, as you look at it all around you, in your closed eyes right now, you're in that place, in that moment, totally taking in this whole beauty of the place. Why is this place so beautiful? Oh, it's only reflecting my beauty. This is me. All of this beautiful nature is me. I am that. Look at the beautiful nature. There is nothing outside. That nature too is simply your mirror. And today, right now, in this moment, you are finding that beautiful mirror, that amazing mirror that holds the whole of you with unconditional love. You know that when you go to a beautiful place, but you're feeling sad inside, you'll find ways to not appreciate that place. You won't find it as beautiful. But when you're in love, you find a place that's beautiful. You find it so magnificent, so much more beautiful. And so today, you're exploring that favorite place of yours, that beautiful place in love. You are in love in this moment. You are so totally in love with yourself. Take a deep breath in and fill yourself with this love, this abundant, wholesome love. All the judgments for the self out the window. Just simply experiencing unconditional love for yourself. And now think of an ocean, a beautiful, calm ocean. The beautiful sun rays on it. That ocean in this moment is you, glistening in the lights, looking so beautiful, being there with complete peace in your heart. That's the ocean that you are. This ocean of unconditional love, I am. In the ocean, you see these small fish, so many fish. And then, what are these? Oh, yes. They could be some of your emotions, your other emotions. They could be anger, resentment. They could be anything. Sadness, grief, whatever it is. But these small fish are just such a tiny part of the ocean that you are. You are the ocean of unconditional love. And then you observe there is so much other life that you, the ocean, allows. In the depth of the sea, there is life of all kinds, and you are allowing it. This whole undersea life, this whole undersea life is your family. Everything that is in the ocean, everything is your family. That's how large and vast and expansive you are. Everyone that you know is part of this ocean. And today you are covered in unconditional love. Only that. Look at all the life around you, even as you exist as you in this life, all the life around you, simply a part of the ocean of unconditional love that you are. Over the next few days, stay centered for as long as you can. Stay centered at yourself. You are the unconditional love. Everything around you, just the illusion that reflects you. So be in this space of unconditional love towards the self. Be kind, be gentle to yourself. There is no other. Be so loving to yourself. There is no other. And as you sit in this space of love for yourself, anybody who comes in touch, they become a part of the ocean that you are. You don't have to call them in. You don't have to pull them in. They already are being touched by the ocean that you are. Om Mani. Stay in this space of peace and calm. Enjoy. Okay, everybody. Lots and lots of love to all. Bye, everyone.
Lots of love, Mimi. Love you. Love you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye.